The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, which is the legacy project of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, is projected to have a huge impact on the Nigerian economy through the maritime sector, particularly maritime tourism. Have you given that a thought? Welcome to the program that serves you insight into the maritime industry, Nimasa This Week. I remain your anchor, Moyolua Olutayo. This episode promises to be an interesting voyage. Sit tight. I'll be right back. If you're just tuning in, we are glad to have you join us on the program, Nimasa This Week. The Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy welcomed a high-profile visit. As the Secretary General of the D8 Organization for Economic Cooperation, His Excellency Ambassador Isiaka Abdulqadir Imam met with the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Adegboyega Oyetola, CON. The courtesy visit highlighted the commitment of the D8 nations to fostering sustainable economic growth through enhanced cooperation in the marine and blue economy sector. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
A significant event took place at the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy as His Excellency Ambassador Isiaka Abdulqadir Imam, Secretary General of the D8 Organization for Economic Cooperation, met with the Minister Adegboyega Oyetola, CON.
I'd like to welcome the D8 to this office. It's a pleasure to see areas of collaboration between the D8 and Nigeria, particularly the Ministry of the Economy. The ministry was just created barely a year plus ago, and the intention is to unlock the potentials in the marine and blue economy as part of the diversification agenda of Mr. President.
This high-profile visit underscores the D8 nations' commitment to fostering sustainable economic growth through enhanced collaboration in marine and blue economy sectors.
Information that the Secretary General has provided, indeed the collaboration in the marine and blue economy within the D8 organization framework is gaining traction, particularly since the 11th summit held in Cairo last month, Your Excellency. In fact, Indonesia is gearing toward organizing some kind of virtual workshop on blue economy, sometimes by the end of January or early February this year, just to gather inputs from the D8 member states in the specific areas of blue economy that can be collaborated further.
The D8 organization, comprising 8 developing countries, focuses on critical areas such as trade, energy, agriculture, and industrial development. During their meeting, Minister Oyetola and Secretary General Imam engaged in vital discussions on sustainable fisheries management, port modernization, deep-sea mining, and renewable energy.
As a new ministry, we're looking forward to any assistance we can get from the developed countries in the sense of the economy particularly. So we are ready to collaborate on respect of all of that. I'm glad that you talk more about the fishery. Fishery and aquaculture is one of the major areas of focus that can easily be an opportunity to create new jobs.
Yes.
Particularly for the youth. So we're looking at a situation where we're able to develop that aspect of fishery to be able to encourage our youth to participate actively in fisheries and aquaculture.
This visit marks a milestone in the ministry's mission to balance economic growth with environmental stewardship, reaffirming Nigeria's leadership in promoting international cooperation in marine and blue economy sectors. With Minister Oyetola at the forefront, transformative initiatives are set to pave the way for a sustainable future.
Still on the program, Nimasa this week. Let's stay with the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, where all heads of agencies under the ministry were in Abuja for a meeting with the Honorable Minister, where the need for synergy and interagency collaboration was highlighted. The Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Dayo Mobiriola, and all other chief executives under the ministry were in attendance. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
The conference hall of the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy in Abuja was a beehive of activity last week as the leadership of the ministry, led by the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola CON, met with all chief executives of the agencies under the ministry. Their mission this time was to review their communication strategy to achieve effective interagency collaboration.
Blue economy has existed before the creation of the ministry. But sometimes they don't even understand that blue economy embraces ports, all shipping activities, and all the things that have to do with blue economy.
Oyetola also noted that the ministry and all agencies under its supervision are focused on the development of the Nigerian maritime sector.
I'm particularly very happy with the caliber of people I'm working with. The agencies are doing pretty well by any standard, and interagency collaboration must be pursued. You could see what we're able to achieve with the budget discussion. I've been cracking my brain as to how best to tackle the issue of boat accident on our waterways. That we might have to engage a company or companies that can standardize boats. I don't know how it at the backyard of my ministry. So that's the essence of this. And I want us to encourage that. Even apart from the issue of press, we should ensure that we have that synergy among all the agencies. Work together as a team.
The Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy is committed to ensuring that Nigeria's marine resources are harnessed responsibly, enriching the lives of our citizens while preserving the natural beauty of our coastal resources.
You need to really take your time and bring them on board in understanding and granulate everything to them. The importance of single window is enormous. It's so enormous that single window is such that if I want to export my cargo in the US or something, I go online, put it in the details of my bill of lading and everything. Before the cargo gets to the port, the Nigerian custom would have issued their bill to me. And more than likely, I would have paid. Yes. The variance is when the scanner goes through, when it goes through the scanner, and then there's something, there is variance. Yes. At that time, even the cargo will still go, yes, but you will bear the extra.
You're welcome back on the program. The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, is committed to the enthronement of global best practices in the provision of maritime services in Nigeria. Let's take a listen and learn more about the activities of Nimasa in this report.
Globally, The maritime sector has continued to thrive due to the services and sacrifices of the seafarers, dock labor workers, and other human components of the industry. They are seen as the key drivers of the maritime sector because there's a limit to the extent machines and artificial intelligence can replace their services. This makes the issue of their welfare very important. To this end, the management of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency has constituted a National Joint Industrial Council Committee to start with immediate effect the already elapsed Dockworkers Collective Bargaining Agreement for the year 2023 and 2024. The Executive Director, Maritime Labour and Cabotage Services of the agency, who is also the chairman of the council, disclosed that open and transparent communication is key to the success of the negotiation process.
Today marks the continuation of an important journey towards fostering collaboration, understanding, and fair decision-making. As representatives of employers, employees, and government, our presence here signifies a shared commitment to create a sustainable and harmonious working environment. As we continue this journey, let us remember that open and transparent communication is key to the success of our negotiations. We must strive to maintain a respectful and constructive dialogue.
Port State Control is the inspection of foreign ships in national ports to verify that the condition of the ship and its equipment comply with the requirements of international regulations and that the ship is manned and operated in compliance with these instruments. While the flag state is to conduct regular inspections of each of their ships to ensure the safety of their cargo and crew members. The state that the vessel registers with is also responsible for collecting taxes from that vessel and regulating the pollution levels of ships under their flag.
Here we'll start with the documentation of the certificates, then his endorsements of the crew, then we have to sort of go around. Okay, that's very good. So I guess you might be familiar with your joint organization, you've done a lot when you came on board, right?
Yeah.
Joined from the source. So are you familiar with this manual?
Recovery of person from the water.
Yes. So I want to know your duty. Your duties. You have a duty here?
Yeah.
What are the duties?
My duties on the bridge. I am the gym duties. The communication between our ship and the parties.
Any vessel operating coastal voyage in Nigeria must mandatorily have on board a logbook, port call register, and other particulars. When Nimasa surveyors boarded a Liberian-flagged vessel, MT Pericle, in Lagos, it was simply to ensure compliance with the requirements as set by the IMO.
So Chief, this is your electrician? Yeah. Or second
this one.
How are you? From the Port State Control. So Chief, when last did you test your emergency emergency vehicle?
To effectively manage the marine environment in Nigeria, in line with international conventions and acceptable global best practices, Nimasa established a fully functional laboratory where chemical, biological, and microbial testing can be conducted. The Nimasa Laboratory, located at the Nigerian Maritime Resource Development Center in Kirikiri, is the latest addition to Nimasa facilities to ensure all gaps identified during the IMO IMSAS audit are closed.
The Marine Pollution Laboratory of Nimasa was established based on the Merchant Shipping Marine Environment Management Regulation 2012. This gave the framework for the establishment of the laboratory.
Atomic absorption spectrophotometer, which is used for analysis of heavy metals. Heavy metals, as we all know, they are a priority polluters because of their high toxicity, tendency to bioaccumulate. In addition to that, the agency also procured a water quality monitoring equipment here, which can be used to assess and monitor the environmental quality of the marine environment.
Nimasa management has established a hybrid library to aid research in the maritime sector. The library is physically located in Lagos, Nigeria, but the facility is available online and can easily be accessed. A visit to the Nimasa e-library in Apapa was an eye-opener.
The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency operates a hybrid type of library having the conventional library and the electronic type of library services, resources and facilities available for information dissemination, learning and knowledge creation of the maritime industry. The library is a hybrid type of library and it runs 24/7. It's accessible through any device, on your cell phone, on your iPad, on your laptop, desktop, on any electronic device. Is accessible with internet connectivity. The membership of the library is open to students, staff, maritime stakeholders anywhere they are, is it in Nigeria or abroad, all maritime stakeholders, researchers and academicians, and the general public.
Okay, I got to find out about the e-library when I got employed into Nimasa, during our pre-induction orientation exercise. So since then, I've been visiting the library time to time for updates.
I'll advise people to come here frequently and use the library because the services are really good. The internet is quick and there's enough desktops for you to go online, do your research, and quick access to the e-library, and the conventional libraries downstairs as well. So you can just shuffle between that upstairs and it's a very serene, nice, quiet environment. So I encourage people to sign up and come to the Library Resource Center and check it out.
And it's available online on www.nimasa.gov.ng, or you go to www.nimasaelibraryonline.org. All you need to go do is, when you go to the Nimasa website, click on the website and you go to online services.
Dimowo is Director, Marine Environment Management at Nimasa.
This is a publication we have. It addresses issues connected to marine litter. It essentially addresses the issues that are connected with marine litter matters as far as Nigeria is concerned. What we have here is an action plan that brings together all the relevant agencies. We are going in phases. Right now we are engaging the littoral states, and we have scheduled meetings with the governors and the commissioners of the environment in those states.
Global warming is another issue that affects the blue economy.
Global warming is a global phenomenon now that you and I and everybody, whether in the maritime environment or otherwise, should take seriously. Nimasa is focused on the maritime component of it, and that's going to involve ships and other maritime platforms. So what we are doing now is Nigeria is taking a forefront position. In Nigeria, we are putting in place several measures, and this includes educating and sensitizing the public. We are also conscious of the kind of fuel that we use that causes this global warming. We are talking in Africa. Presently, we are talking to African countries, talking to African organizations and relevant institutions, with a view to developing a framework to address these global warming issues.
This is Nimasa This Week. You are watching Nimasa This Week.
You are watching Nimasa This Week.
You are watching Nimasa This Week.
The voice of maritime in Nigeria.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We are number one.
Nimasa This Week. The voice of maritime, showing on these stations.
Introducing the new face of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa. We are charting the direction for a maritime and regulating the industry for a better, bigger, and more economically stable Nigeria. Evolved to serve you better. We are Nimasa. New face, rejuvenated service. Nimasa, changing the tides in your favor.
That's our package for today. In the words of famous Fuller, it is skill, not strength, that governs a ship. So as we say on this year 2025, let's develop new skills that will be useful in nation building. Until we meet again on the same platform, same station, same time next week, I remain your uncle, Muyoluwa Onotayo. Bye for now.